Okay, guys. So I get the question, and it keeps popping up in that video I posted a while back about this truck running without nitromethane. That's right, on zero nitro. So let's get into what I did here and whatnot. Anyway, so these to begin with are not a nitro engine. They are a glow engine. They use a glow plug and glow fuel, which is these. Um, the term nitro was coined by the fact that they started adding nitromethane as a power adder to the fuel, because that's what nitromethane is. It's a power adder. There's a lot of BS involved in how it works, but anyways, I'm not going to get into that right now. But the only two ingredients that this truck was running on were these. This is a very impure methanol, but I'm not going to mix the two together on camera because I don't want to waste my castor oil or methanol. This is going to have to be purified and dried. But so the mixture this was running on was 85% of methanol and 15% of this castor oil right here, which specifies that it's for use with methanol, gasoline, and so on. And glow engines 2 and 4-stroke. Anyways, so a lot of people ask me, well, how did it perform? Well, it performed fine. There was absolutely no problem. Honestly, between zero nitro and 10%, there wasn't really a whole lot of difference. Other than the tuning was a little bit more touchy until I got it dialed in. And then it performed flawlessly. Starts easy, runs good, tons of power, no problem. People ask me, did I modify the engine? No, I didn't. The only thing I actually did was just use the factory hot glow plug that's supposed to be in there, which is an A3 from OS. The equivalent to that would be an OS LC3, I think. Yeah, that's a hot plug. That's a long range plug though for different engines. So I did have to retune the carburetor. I can't remember exactly. I think I had to richen it up a little bit at first and then lean it out after once I got everything sorted out. But the engine ran right up to its 240 degree temperature range where it's usually happy at. I didn't have to remove head shims. I didn't have to do anything. Depending if you have a newer engine like something like that, sometimes they want a head shim removed, sometimes not. It's something you really have to play around with. It's not necessarily always a cheap alternative to actually running nitro fuel. Because, I mean, by the time you buy methanol and castor oil and blah, 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 you're already in for the price of a gallon of pre-made stuff. So it's not really going to save you a whole lot of money that way. But if you are going to do it, what I suggest is get yourself, like I said, this castor oil here. You can buy it online. Amazon, eBay sells it, whatever. Don't use the drugstore stuff because it's not degummed and has water and all sorts of contamination in it. It's slightly corrosive and not good for your engine. Anyways, the methanol, you can order it if you're in the States from Torco Fuels. They have it. I don't know how much it is, really. I think it's about $40 a gallon or something. I could be wrong about that. It might be cheaper. I have no idea. At least I know that's what it is Canadian. So like I said, you want about an 85-15 mixture. And don't go tempted to go mix a whole gallon of this right away. Mix up a small batch first and see how it turns out. Airtight container, obviously. This is not really airtight, but it works for now. I am going to be running this fuel in my 4-stroke anyways. But like I said, don't mix up more than, a small bottle of it and see how it goes. I will tell you that I'm not going to hold any responsibility if you screw up your engine. This won't screw up your engine, but if you get the mixture wrong or it doesn't tune right, that's your problem. That's not my problem. So just take that into consideration if you're going to be playing around with homemade stuff. I used to make my own fuel, which was a 20% nitro, 10% castor oil blend, and it ran fantastic. But the problem is here I can't get pure nitromethane anymore, so I get my methanol for extremely cheap. I clean it and I make zero nitro just to run in my old stuff like this because of how expensive nitro is here. So it's not always worth it. If you want to experiment, I mean, go for it. But like I said, a word of warning, just know what you're doing because you can screw things up. If you put too much oil in, it'll be an absolute nightmare, and it won't run properly or at all. If there's not enough oil, well, engine damage can occur. That's why I suggest a 85-15 mixture. It's pretty safe. And like I said, between 0 nitro and 10% over here, there wasn't a whole lot of difference in performance that I noticed, at least with this engine. So that's just something to think about. But like I said before, I didn't do anything to modify this engine, just threw it in, retuned it, and ran it, and that's it. Anyways, guys, that's a little bit of a video on my 0 nitro BS. Enjoy, and keep burning nitro, or 0 nitro. Experiment, play around with your shit, just be careful. Like I said, if you screw it up, it's not my fault.